The Summer Games Minute, brought to you by Mass Mutual. It is one of the most coveted trophies in the world, but are gold medals really gold? Well, mostly, they're not. The gold medals given out these days are nearly entirely silver and are plated with pure gold to give them that iconic sheen. Silver medals are, of course, made with silver, and bronze medals are a combination of copper and other metals like tin or zinc. And while winning an Olympic medal is priceless, the value of the materials in the medal are not. In recent games, some of the materials used to make the medals have come from recycled cell phones. Mass Mutual celebrates women's sports history and understands the nuances in how women want and need to manage their finances. With quality product solutions and guidance, a Mass Mutual financial professional can help you plan for both short-term and long-term money goals. Learn more and get started at massmutual.com.
As you've probably heard by now, we've teamed up with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for our listeners each week. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code The Athletic, and you'll get a 1-year subscription to The Athletic, plus up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using bonus code The Athletic. Make your first deposit of at least $10. Place your first bet on any game and claim your voucher for a 1-year subscription to The Athletic. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code The Athletic, and you'll get a 1-year subscription to The Athletic, plus up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager.
The Athletic.
Hello and welcome to the Race IndyCar podcast. Very special episode coming up. We get to say that quite often on this show, which is really nice, but this one really does feel that extra bit special. We've got Simon Pagenaud joining us for an interview to talk about his mentor, friend, person who guided him throughout his career, Gil de Ferran, who sadly passed away at the end of 2023. During the off-season, we didn't really get a chance to do Gil de Ferran's memory justice, and I really hope that this interview is going to right that wrong. But we wanted to bring you this interview anyway, because it's so much more than about just the parade laps. It's Simon's relationship with Gil, how it all came about, how Simon raced for Gil when he came over to North America in the late 2000s, and how their relationship flourished, and how Simon came to be the person asked to do the parade laps at the Indy 500 for Gil. Gil, of course, the 2000 and 2001 kart champion for Team Penske, also won the Indianapolis 500 with Team Penske in 2003 as well, and the Speedway meant so much to him. He came back repeatedly. He had stints doing different roles in Formula One and other championships, sports cars as well. But IndyCar always felt like his home, really. And he was always well loved in the paddock. And you go very far to find someone to say a bad word about Gil de Ferran in the IndyCar paddock. Lots of long-lasting friendships and people who speak very, very highly of him. So someone we're really looking forward to learning a little bit more about in this interview. Also a little bit about how some of the nickname that Simon has for Gil, Yoda, came about, and some of those kind of more personal details that Simon can really bring to the fold. Simon was actually wearing Gil's race suit from 2003 and the gloves as well for that parade run, which was a really cool touch. And he also did a special helmet to mark the occasion, which you can go and see on Simon's social media as well. Definitely go and seek that out. Just a note that we won't be talking about Simon's crash last year at Mid-Ohio, which he's not raced in IndyCar since then. He's been out. We wanted to respect his privacy and his recovery. He has a right to do that in his own way, and we really wanted to give him that opportunity to do that. So we won't be talking about that in this episode. Simon will do that in his own time when he is good and ready. You won't hear from me again other than in the interview, so For our next episode, we will be back after Detroit, which is coming up this weekend. It's the weekend after the Indy 500. There's no gap in between. The teams and drivers are straight from the Indy 500 to Detroit and back in action again on the street circuit. It's the new layout of the street circuit that was used last year for the first time, where Alex Palou won. So it's definitely worth checking out. And as usual, JR Hildebrand and myself will be back to give you all of the analysis and a deep dive into any news that's happened between the 500 and Detroit, and also everything that happened in the race and what we've learned from it. The usual kind of post-race episode that we usually do. So for now, without further ado, I really hope you enjoy this episode. Special interview with Simon Pagenaud from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Simon Pagenaud, welcome back to the Race IndyCar podcast. Lovely to have you back on the show. I think for a start, why don't you tell us a little bit of background about how this amazing parade lap opportunity came about and why it means so much to you as well?
Well, it's no secret that Gilles was a huge part of my life. Really simply, almost like a dad. I mean, almost like a dad. More than that, he, shaped me into the driver I became. Started obviously very early for me when I came to the US. We met end of 2007, and then I drove for him. And then, it was my team honor, but we became such good friends. And he became my confidant. He became... I always remember him here. It's funny. I'm jumping subject. But in 2015, I messed up. I was leading the Indy 500, my first time leading the race. And he came by the motorhome and he was smiling. And I was so upset about losing that race. And he's smiling. I'm like, why are you smiling? I was so upset. He said, Simon, you okay? It's good. I'm like, what do you mean it's good? I just messed up. I should have won the race. I had the fastest car. He said, no, you'll do it. Now you will do it after what you just done today. And that's exactly who Gilles is. I still talk to him in present. It's the type of person that he is, and he doesn't read in the future, but he sees values in people. And that's, he saw value in me, and, I'm very grateful that he did. And I'm really grateful that he just carried me under his wing and taught me everything that he had to teach, because he had so much to teach. And I feel privileged. That I was the chosen one to do that, but I derailed already. The reason why, how did this happen, quite frankly, is Luc de Ferran, Anna, and Angela called me, and we talked with Luc quite a bit, so I'm not expecting anything, we're just having a casual conversation. And then all of a sudden they're like, would you, by any chance, want to drive Gilles' car in a parade lap before the 500? I'm like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? And of course, I got very emotional. I have not had the chance to do anything with what I've got going on. So it's been dragging on me that I wasn't able to pay tribute to my mentor, the person that I cared, one of the person I cared the most about in the world. And seeing others doing it was really great, but also difficult for me not to be able to do it. So this was a chance. And really, it's the de Ferran family and Penske coming together. Obviously, they have perfect running cars. The winners are all perfect running cars, but they still had to do some work to get it running. And here we are. So it's quite incredible to get to do that.
What's it been like to actually get behind the wheel and drive the car? I mean, I'm guessing you've not driven that car or any similar car like that before. So even just the prospect of getting behind the wheel of something a little bit older, and I know you're such a motorsport fan in general, of like some of the history and stuff as well, just to get behind that car felt really cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first time, and I'm opening up about my emotions here because it's a very different environment than usual. When I first saw the car, it was perfectly presented by the Team Penske in the garage, and the spotlights. It was perfect. All polished, all perfect. I mean, the thing was just amazingly pretty. I turned around the corner there, set up in the F1 garage, and tears came up. the car has such an aura. Not only it's a very iconic livery, but it feels like it's got I'm very spiritual. It feels like Gilles is around the car, honestly. And now I saw the car, it's like a part of Gilles. It's part of his legacy. And it's a Team Penske car, yes, but Gilles was the driver too. So it was a very specific image for me. Then getting to sit in it, yes. We don't remember how tight the cars were back then. Much smaller, much tighter, much more aerodynamics in some ways. I felt very claustrophobic, and man, so exposed. The windscreen, the aero screen did so much for safety, right? And then all of a sudden you take that off, and the G-Force car, you can see everything. You can see the wheels, you can see the side pods, you can see the front wing. And when I'm driving it, it's like I can touch the racetrack with my hand. You're very, very connected to everything. The other thing that was a shock is when I started the engine. It just, first of all, vibrated in my back like a gorilla. And it was a proper racing engine. It's the Toyota V8. And that thing's so responsive to throttle input. I just tapped the throttle just to see, and it went whoom whoom. It was like the old Formula One cars. I haven't heard that in a long time. I haven't shifted like that. It's a sequential gearbox with a shifter. I haven't shifted like that since 2006. It's almost 20 years now. But surprisingly, the gearing, the shifting is so smooth. Car is pristine. It was it was difficult. I had a lot of tears.
I've seen the Yoda name kind of bandied around a lot in my reading and stuff, and obviously I'm not privy to your personal conversations and stuff, but that seems to be something you called him. I guess, can you remember the origins of that, or kind of where that came from? And was it something you called him a lot, or is it just something? Is that maybe something that's been spread around a little bit, maybe that isn't quite accurate?
It actually came from me. At the same time, I was driving at Peugeot, and they used to call me Padawan there. And then, because I was the youngest, and all the drivers were, former Formula One driver. And then, as I was doing my stint with Gilles here in the US, I was like, maybe Padawan, but I've got a really great Yoda. And I'm a big Star Wars fan. And it just, came up to me. I was like, yeah, he taught me like my Yoda would. Like Yoda would teach his Padawans. So that's how it came about. And then I saw that he actually took it back into an interview later on in life. So yeah, he was officially my Yoda. And if you look at the special design helmet, I changed a few things on the back of it, of my part. Instead of Think Like a Champion, I actually said, it's written, "Thank you, my Yoda." And on the bottom of it, it's got the crown of the winner, like I would do for me. I put his win, the 2003 Indy 500 win on the left, and me on the 2019. So, yeah, it comes full circle. It's quite incredible.
I know these situations are difficult because you're sorry to have lost such a great mentor and a great friend, but at the same time you want to celebrate and make sure that they're remembered in the way that they should be, and that they get the reception and the glory that they deserve. And I guess it must have been such a great honour for the family to reach out to you, because when Jill passed, if you read all of the people with their comments, some famous people, Roger Penske and people of that kind of caliber, but also really famous drivers, both on Formula One side, IndyCar, all these championships, and the family, they wanted you to drive the car, not anybody else. So I guess, how did that make you feel? Oh
yeah, it was what shocked me the most. It was what it allowed me to realize that they realized how close I was to them, how close I felt to them. They felt the same way, and I think for anyone that would be very special, right? So it was a reassurance that I wasn't dreaming my feelings, and that it was the same on their side, which obviously is the definition of love, and that's great. It's beautiful. So I was surprised. I did ask why isn't David Coulthard doing it, because David was Gilles' best friend, and Luke and Angela Anna said, well, you won Indy and you were Gilles' guy. You were, it's you. It should be you. It's his place is about you and Gilles. So I still feel so grateful and a bit unreal feeling to be the chosen one for it. Just super grateful.
I know you're you must feel spiritually attached to the Speedway generally because of your win here and everything that you've been able to achieve in IndyCar and Indianapolis. But do you feel like you're going to be even more connected to the Speedway now because of this opportunity to do this here, and another amazing memory for you to add to the Indianapolis kind of legend that you have here now?
Yes, I will. It will be a bit like a victory, in a way, I'm very. I should be very grateful, like I said, but I'm very thankful that I get to celebrate him here. And it's going to be a bit like a win at Indy. So I'm fortunate that I won. I think, had I not won, had he not seen it, that would have been a big regret to not make my master happy. But it's definitely going to be, we talk about this, and then if I fully open up, I already asked for the usual painter that paints the winner. I already asked him to paint me driving the car here with the helmet, so we have memories. And we've put together a team that is following me, taking photos and videos, just so we can have the memories, because I consider this like a race win at Indianapolis, and it will, for me, it will be one of the biggest memories at the Speedway, if not the biggest. I will be wearing, as a little surprise, nobody would have known before it happens, I will be wearing his actual race suit he won with, the 2003 red fire suit, with all the logos and everything, because it's the actual suit. His gloves, and the special helmet livery that I just made. And obviously the helmet I'm going to give away to the family afterwards as a present and a memory for them. And I'll get to do, I would say, 3/4 of a lap, because unfortunately I have to come through pit lane and then finish in turn 1. So it's going to be really short. I'm sure the moment will be very, very short. I'm going to make it as long as possible. And I'm sure it'll be full of tears. But, obviously it's... tears because it's sad. We lost someone so great and someone so close to me, but also joy because of who he was and how much he wanted to celebrate life. And that's why I'm going to end it, is that Gilles wouldn't want us to be sad, because he always said he wanted to go early anyways. But he would want us to do exactly what we're going to do on Sunday, and he would want to say goodbye to all the fans, and he would want them to remember him the way that the incredible guy he was.
The Athletic.